So it's also important to acknowledge the influence of your own childhood experience when reacting and dealing with affairs. If your parents divorced, the chances are you are less tolerant of infidelity and more likely to find forgiveness hard. Yet paradoxically, if you can stand firm and face some intense sessions with your partner, you are likely to heal your childhood wounds, as well as the recent ones in your relationship. Many people unconsciously create the same atmosphere in their adult relationships as they experienced as children. So if yours was a family who did not discuss things, where there was a wall of silence over anything emotional, and emotions and frustrations and hurts were allowed to fester, then you'll be feeling quite comfortable in your adult relationship if that's like that also. You may feel very uncomfortable if your partner, with or without a therapist, wants to have a conversation with you to share their feelings of unfulfilled needs or deep fears which stem from their childhood. If the one who's had the affair is able to acknowledge the pain they have caused, I always feel optimistic. That's a great start. If they're petulant, blaming the other one for really causing them to behave that way, then honestly, I doubt that the process will succeed. But if they're able to accept that they have caused the pain their partner feels and the loss of trust they have caused, and they take responsibility, then they are at the beginning of an opportunity to grow closer together. Failure to do this often indicates that one or both are playing games, such as "I'm always the victim" game, or "How can I ever trust you again" game. But if they both accept they had a part to play, and if they can forgive and let any harboured resentments go, then we can do some excellent work. That work starts with each of them crossing the bridge across the space between them and really listening to what the other has to say about what the affair gave them, how it made them feel, and what might have been missing from their relationship, so the pair of them can now go about getting what was missed. If the affair isn't seen to have some purpose or create change afterwards, it's more likely to happen again. In my practice, I often end a session by having the couple say to each other, "One thing I tend to try and do differently is," and then have their partner mirror that back. And then they say, "And if I can do that, I hope the change we will see is." Working with couples who are in relationships where there's been betrayal of trust and infidelity is challenging, often because the partners themselves find it so hard to be honest about their underlying feelings, resentments and fears. If you are in this situation, I strongly suggest that you see a professional, ideally with your partner. I sometimes get couples coming in individually, but the work really starts when you see them both together. So I've included some tools that I use to help couples working on forgiveness. They're in the downloads available with this module. I've also included a dialogue on how to discuss an affair, which we will see between Jack and Jill. They'll demonstrate it at the end of this module. So, in conclusion, we are relational creatures and we do everything in relationships. We heal, we grow, we're constantly seeking to be in a relationship and feel devastation if our relationship is undermined or threatened. Affairs can be the most catastrophic threat, yet paradoxically the best opportunity for change and growth. So please don't see an affair as the end of the world. It can be the start of a better, more connected, more honest one. So let's watch Jack and Jill working through a conversation about an affair. After this module, we'll be moving into how to reignite intimacy in a relationship.